Hello friends, my name is Emile and welcome back to some more Gran Turismo 2. Today we're continuing on with our Let's Play. This is episode 34, and in today's episode we are going to be doing the one-make race series for Alfa Romeo. Although when I say it's a one-make race series, technically, well, it's got the 155 and the 156 in it. It's for the 155 and the 156. We used the 155 earlier on in this Let's Play, so we're going to use a 156 for today. I'm going to go with the 2-litre twin spark because why not? And I'm going to buy it in Alpha Red because why not? Probably the best colour there. Right, let's buy the car, which we have done. Right, and I'm just going to go and tune this up. I shall be back in a second. Okay, so there we go, that is the upgrading done for the Alfa Romeo 156. We're running about 340 brake horsepower, and it's got most of the upgrades on it as per usual. Anyway, let's head off to our first race, which is going to be on a random course. Okay, we are at Laguna Seca for our first race with the Alfa Romeo 156. Interesting track, wasn't I expecting this one to show up in a race for Alfa Romeos, but there you go. Anyways, there are two 155s in this race, and the rest of the vehicles are 156s. Kind of wish you could have won the Ron 66 in this racing championship, but unfortunately you can't. This vehicle has better turning than I was expecting there. Anyway, I've done some change. Usually, when it comes to upgrading these vehicles, by the way, in case you're wondering, I literally basically put almost every engine part on it, super soft tyres, and that's usually about it. Occasionally, like with a vehicle like this, I tweak about with the suspension. Oh, I put full weight reduction on it as well, so up to stage 3 weight reduction, which just makes it easier later on, because you need weight reduction anyway to get the racing car modifications on, so it's just easier to do them as early on as possible. So the upgrades I do to the vehicles sort of going into it. The Alpha I've decided to upgrade the suspension on because this car was quite bouncy last time I used it. But yeah, other than that, Alpha 156 appears to be handling pretty decently at the moment. Of course, you know, most cars in Gran Turismo with super softs are pretty good, although we have been finding over the course of this series they can be a little understeery from time to time. But the 155 seems to be pretty decent. Not too sure on what the difference is between this and the 2.5 V6 are. I'm guessing the V6 probably has a bit more power to it, and I can imagine it weighs a little bit more, potentially. I'm not too sure. But I just decided to go with the 2-litre twin spark because it's slightly cheaper and it's a bit different, I guess. So yeah, that's why I have gone with this vehicle, and yeah. In case you're wondering why I went for the 156 over the 155, A, we've already used the 155, and B, as much as I love the 155, A, you don't really see the 156 in games too often these days, and also this vehicle, the 156 has a much better racing modification than the 155. Don't get me wrong, the race mod for the 155 isn't bad by any stretch of the imagination. It's pretty cool actually, but the 156 is a bit more varied and a bit more interesting. So that's why I've gone for the 155 first over the the 156 over the 155. I get confused on these numbers. I do apologise if I end up butchering it. Anyways, we're quite a ways ahead of everyone else in this one-mate race apparently, as we cross the finish line here at Laguna Seca. Interestingly enough, the lap times I just set there on Forza Motorsport 6 can barely be matched by GTS, a modern one, so there we go. Anyways, first place of course, and we've got 5,000 credits. Anyways, let's go ahead and race mod this vehicle. Okay, let's go ahead and racing modify our Alpha 156. Racing car modifications. Okay, as you can see, there are many different colours you can have for this. I think I'm going to go for this sort of cream and red combination though. I quite like it. Admittedly, the yellow wing mirrors and the yellow sun visor are a little bit odd, but hey, I just decided I would go with this one. Anyways, let's head back to the events and do the racing style event. Okay, we are on track at Grand Valley East for our racing event with the 156, and it actually appears we have a pretty good combination of both 155s and 156s in this race. A couple of different coloured 156s back there, and of course all the 155s are exactly the same because their livery is based on the Super Touring car, which is also in this game, which makes a fantastic noise. I may use that vehicle potentially for like the... I'm tempted to use it for either an endurance race or like one of the Gran Turismo World Champ. Maybe, well, Gran Turismo World Champs. I don't know if that vehicle would actually be competitive in that, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can't even remember what vehicle I used for the Gran Turismo Champs last time. I don't really know because I've only ever actually completed the Gran Turismo World Championships once, because as a kid I just didn't do them because I didn't see the point. Because I was like, oh, this is actually giving me any prize cars for getting through the Nationals, so why bloody hell should I? And then I just end up doing special events. Essentially, yeah, when I used to play this game, it was just basically me trying to just try out a bunch of different vehicles, modify them up, try out a bunch of different racing modifications and stuff like that. And it was a pretty fun game. That's why I regard this game to be amazing. It is most of the reasons why I regard Gran Turismo 2 over 4 is for the fact that you can do this to the vehicles. You can racing modify the vehicles, and they all look very, very cool once it's done. It really is like a very good, what's the word? The fans love this sort of thing, but unfortunately, by the looks of it, they're not going to bring it back for whatever reason. Don't really know. They brought it back in GT5, but it sucked. It really was terrible in Gran Turismo 5, so yeah. I mean, if you're gonna do what Gran Turismo 5 did, which, to be honest with you, like, for the cars that could have racing mod, it wasn't bad. The problem is you had 17 cars that could have racing mod. It realistically, I mean, how many premium cars were there in Gran Turismo 5? 200-ish? You know, you've got to make it for at least 100 of those vehicles. And I mean, it's not even... Oh, apparently all the 156s absolutely dominated the 155s, so that's something. But yeah, if you're going to do it, you either do it for every vehicle or you just don't do it at all, like Gran Turismo 4 did. Anyways, of course, we've won. We get 7,000 credits, which isn't enough for anything. And I will see you guys in a second. Okay, so there we go, and that is it for the Alfa Romeo 1-make races. And yeah, anyways, that is it for this episode, friends. In the next episode, we are going to be doing the Lancia 1-make races, so join me for that. Anyways, friends, I want to thank you all very much for watching. My name's been the Real Emile, and until next time, farewell.